Today is February 22nd, 1959. The bodies of 9 missing hikers have been discovered in the Ural Mountains. Some were half naked in the freezing cold. One of them was missing her tongue. According to the Soviet report, the cause of death was an unknown compelling force.
On February 1st, 1959, a group of young engineering students set out on an expedition in the Ural Mountains. Their goal was to climb one of the region's remote peaks, Mount Ottertan. They were experienced, motivated, and fully prepared for the harsh winter conditions. As night fell over the silent mountains, the group settled into their tent. But what happened that night would become one of the most disturbing mysteries in modern history, a tragedy that shocked the Soviet Union and remains unexplained to this day. Welcome to Zodiac Mysteries. The place we now call Dyatlov Pass was named after the group's leader, Igor Dyatlov. But long before this tragedy, the mountain had another name. The local Mansi people called it Kholat Syakhl, which translates to the Mountain of the Dead. According to Mansi legends, this was a forbidden place, a place where restless spirits wandered through the cold wilderness. For generations, elders warned their children to stay away from this mountain. They believed that anyone who entered these lands without proper spiritual preparation could face terrible consequences. And according to local history, many people had already disappeared or died in this region. So the question is, why would 9 young hikers willingly travel to a place feared for centuries? The group was led by 23-year-old Igor Dyatlov, an experienced hiker and a 5th-year radio engineering student at the Ural Polytechnic Institute. There was originally a 10th member in the group, a 21-year-old student named Yuri Yudin, but due to health problems, he was forced to turn back shortly after the expedition began, a decision that would unknowingly save his life. The team began their journey on January 23, 1959, from a small village called Visay, a remote settlement that marked the last outpost of civilization before the endless wilderness of the Ural Mountains. Once they crossed that boundary, everything began to change. Over the next 8 days, the hikers battled brutal weather, navigation errors, and violent snowstorms, until finally they reached the slopes of the mountain the locals called the Mountain of the Dead. And there, their fate would be sealed. But what happened on that mountain has never been fully explained. Over the decades, countless theories have tried to solve the Dyatlov mystery. Some say it was an avalanche. Others believe it was a secret Soviet military experiment. There are even theories about something not of this world. But none of these explanations truly answer the most disturbing question. What could make 9 experienced hikers suddenly cut open their tent and run into the freezing darkness? Because maybe the answer was never hidden in the mountain. Maybe the answer was hidden inside the mind of their leader, Igor Dyatlov, and perhaps in the sky above them that night. Igor Dyatlov was born on January 13, 1936, in the industrial town of Pervouralsk. Intelligent, ambitious, and disciplined, he quickly became a respected leader among students at the Ural Polytechnic Institute, especially during demanding mountain expeditions. But after finishing his studies, the admiration that once surrounded him began to disappear. The crowds faded, the attention was gone, and Dyatlov slowly withdrew into himself. Those around him noticed moments of strange silence and deep isolation, but no one truly understood what was happening inside his mind. Because somewhere in that silence, something darker may have begun to grow. A belief that he had been chosen, that a higher power had given him a purpose, and the need to prove that purpose began to consume him, that he could prove himself again, not to a small group of students, but to the world, a belief that his intelligence his strength, and his destiny were greater than anyone had yet understood. And Dyatlov knew exactly how to make them see it. With a powerful and manipulative influence over those who trusted him, he convinced 9 people to follow him into the winter wilderness. Up a mountain the locals feared, a place believed to be haunted by restless spirits. In Dyatlov's mind, that mountain was not cursed. It was sacred. The highest place he knew. A place where sacrifices could be offered. A man who believed the world would finally see his power and respect his name. And when it was over, only one person would return from that mountain. Him. Because in Dyatlov's mind, greatness required sacrifice. And if that proof had to be written in blood on the frozen mountain, so be it. For thousands of years, humanity has looked up at the sky with fascination. Ancient civilizations studied the stars, believing the movements of the heavens could reveal hidden truths about the world below. From the temples of Babylon to the pyramids of Egypt, the sky was seen not just as a mystery, but as a map. The pyramids of Giza themselves align with the belt of the Orion constellation, forming a celestial pattern that has fascinated historians and astronomers for centuries. Even today, many questions remain about how these structures were built and why they were aligned so precisely with the stars. But that is a story for another time. Because whether people believe in astrology or not, the sky has always been a system of patterns. And sometimes, those patterns appear at very strange moments in history. Moments like the night the Dyatlov group died. When we examine Igor Dyatlov's natal chart, one detail immediately stands out: his 12th house. In astrology, the 12th house is connected to the subconscious, hidden fears, isolation, and the deepest parts of the human psyche. But it can also reveal inner struggles and psychological instability. In Dyatlov's chart, this area is strongly activated. The presence of Uranus together with the asteroid Hygeia suggests sudden disturbances connected to mental balance and emotional stability. At the same time, a tense connection to Pluto, the planet of destruction and transformation, indicates the potential for a sudden and radical psychological shift. Another disturbing detail appears in the relationship between Hades and the 8th house. The 8th house is traditionally associated with death, transformation, the occult, and ritual practices. The interaction between these points suggests a hidden fascination with themes of death, power, and transformation. Now let's return to the night of February 2nd. The night investigators believe the hikers died. At that moment, Uranus and Hades form an exact conjunction. In astrology, Uranus represents sudden shocks, disruptions, and unpredictable triggers. Hades, on the other hand, is often associated with destruction, death, and hidden forces. Together, they create the signature of a sudden and explosive turning point. At the same time, the Moon and Jupiter move through the final degree of Scorpio, the 29th degree, a critical and unstable position. And in Scorpio, the sign most closely associated with death, transformation, and the occult. At that exact degree lies the fixed star Ptolemy, a star historically linked to ritual knowledge and the use of hidden powers. With Jupiter amplifying the influence, the symbolism becomes even stronger. Of course, we cannot say Dyatlov knew any of this, but when we place the psychological state of the group's leader beside the sky above that mountain, the pattern becomes difficult to ignore. A mind consumed by the belief that he had been chosen. A night filled with symbols of death, ritual, and transformation. And a group of people who trusted their leader enough to follow him into the frozen wilderness. But if this theory is true, then one disturbing question still remains. Not what happened on that mountain, but how one man could have carried it out against 8 others. One possible answer may lie in Dyatlov's state of mind that night. A mind already consumed by the belief that he had been chosen, and a sky filled with powerful and unstable triggers. A new moon activating his 12th house, a place in astrology linked to altered states of consciousness, obsession, and loss of control. Under extreme cold, fear, and exhaustion, perception can collapse quickly. Panic spreads, judgment disappears, and violence can erupt in seconds. Some investigators have also suggested the presence of intoxicating substances, but there is one detail that none of the official explanations, not avalanches, not secret military tests, have ever been able to explain: the missing tongue. That kind of injury suggests something far more personal, something that happens in moments of rage, moments when control is lost. And when we look at the sky of that night, filled with symbols of death, ritual, and transformation, it becomes easier to imagine how a single violent moment inside that tent could have turned into chaos. For more videos like this, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. And if you have your own theory about what really happened on that mountain, share it in the comments below. Your idea might be the one that finally helps solve the mystery.